shit about Moses.
All right, Adsy, I was thinking, why classic movies, old ones, brought back to the cinemas would be amazing.
Yeah.
Old school ones. Now, the question is like, you always think about it. Why the hell wouldn't they bring back these old movies for $10? I'd go see Nightmare on Elm Streets and bloody Jasons and go watch The Thing, go watch Alien and all that. The reason what triggered my idea in the first place was last year when Jaws had the 50th anniversary on at the cinemas. It was only on for one night. It was the 4K version. I don't care if it's the 4K version. Play the original friggin' what the copy would have looked like at the cinemas back in the old days. I'll still be friggin' frothing. Either way, it was amazing. Me and my wife absolutely loved it, seeing Jaws at the cinemas. Seen it 100 times, and we went and spent big money and friggin' watched bloody Jaws, at the cinemas in the recliners and all that. Loved it. Bigger screen, better sound. Felt like we saw it at the cinemas for the first time in the 70s, even though we weren't alive. Amazing. Some of these movies are designed for the big screens. We can watch them at home a million times, but some of them, I know you're not a Star Wars fan, but I am, and years and years and years ago they did this as well, and they had the 3 original Star Wars movies on, and this was over 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Because that was when they were releasing Phantom Menace and all that shit, and they were quickly brought out the 3 originals to see at the cinemas, and I was like, fuck yeah, and that was amazing as well, getting to see it at the cinemas. What would you love out of your collection, and at a click of a hat? Because I have seen they've got advertised on there. They've got friggin' 7 was just last week, but it was only for one day. I know you would have gone to that, but it was only for one day. Of course, you're at work. They didn't play it all week. They've got Top Gun coming up for an anniversary. That's going to be at the cinemas. And then there's but they're only doing them for one day. And then there's a couple other ones coming up as well. The Lost Boys is one.
I mean, well,
for one day though.
Well, I've done a few. So I've out of my top 10. So I've seen The Shining. I've seen Pulp Fiction. A big one that I would love to do. That is my number 3 of all time. Obviously 7, but obviously it's my favorite film of all time, and that's definitely made for the cinema. But the big one I want to do that no one really talks about, that would be excellent, is The Last of the Mohicans.
Okay, yeah.
It's just so well done, and such an amazing adventure film, and a war film, but like mainly adventure. And Michael Mann, I've done Heat. Heat was absolutely spot knacker, But with Last of the Mohicans, I'd love to see that. Some of the directing and that, and it was definitely made for the big screen. So, and I love the theatrical cut. So they wouldn't have to put the stupid fucking director's cut on there. And so that one. I would have. What else would I have?
His glasses.
Yeah, I wouldn't have My Girl. I think that's great enough on the telly. Yeah. I'd have True Romance. Another one that's like a roller coaster ride of a film. So seeing that on the big screen, and seeing that scene with Chris Walken and Dennis Hopper on the big screen.
It could open up so much for these younger movie fans that only see all these A24 movies and Blumhouse horror movies and all that, and only seeing all these new movies and think they're the friggin' the top shit. But the top shit was friggin' back then. I'd like to see them like in the original like reels as well. Of course, we're never going to see that. But, I'd love to see like the quality of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the cinemas. Like, I'd love to see that. It would be amazing.
Doesn't matter if it goes out in certain spots. We just want to see what you guys saw back in this, or the, what people saw back in the 70s,
Yes.
like with the Texas Chainsaw, with these
Yep.
films where that they've had they were low budget at the time, so
Yep.
but like seeing Psycho, there's so
Yep.
many
Oh,
cigarette burns.
man.
If you've
Yeah.
seen Fight Club, you know what a cigarette burn is. It's like a little spot
Yep.
that happens on the screen. And I saw Psycho on the big screen, and I was like, it was incredible because it wasn't like 4K reproduction of it, that we've had now. That's gorgeous,
Yep.
but nothing will beat the big screen experience of that film.
I'd
So
love to see Psycho. I'd love to see Psycho 1, 2, 3, and 4 all in a row.
yeah,
That would be cool, especially Psycho 2. I love Psycho 2. It's one of my favorites.
I know.
A lot of people are
Yeah.
so underrated. Alien and Aliens would be amazing back to back
Oh.
at the cinemas. Like just for $10, everyone could go and go, wow, look at this stuff, man. Like, look at this crazy stuff. Dolph Lundgren's Punisher. Like,
Yeah.
like imagine just seeing, like, you're bored one afternoon, you're like, I don't actually even own that on freaking like Blu-ray or 4K. Oh, okay, let's go to the cinemas and see it. You know what I mean? Like, how cool would it be? The original Halloween, I would love to see. Now,
Oh, so
I love that they do once a year these horror fests where they play a whole heap of old movies like Return of the Living Dead and all that. I guess it's on an outdoor projector screen. They do it a couple of nights in a row. I think they've got one in Perth this year. They do it in Melbourne and all that crap. Yeah, cool. Yeah, not bad. Everyone all just freaking goofing around and all that. But I'm talking permanently. I'm talking
in the
permanently.
cinema.
Yeah, permanently have in the cinema a section where for the week we're playing. They choose 5 movies, and those 5 movies get rotated each day. If you don't see them in the 7 days, then you don't get to see them. So, like, and then a little bit of something for everyone as well. Like Titanic for frickin' Pete will be on. No. No.
Already kidding, Pete.
No, but you know what I mean. Like Miami Connection for friggin' Pete. He would go friggin' see that straight away at the cinemas.
I would too.
Yeah, and I would get to go see it for the first time because I haven't watched it yet at the cinemas. But shit like that, and I have a selection like all the ninja movies, the ninja trilogy. Put that on, like Ninja 3 and all that shit. It'd be really cool. I just retro movie night. They should do it, man. They really should do it because look at the schedule of this year's movies. There's not that much coming out, really. There is, but there isn't. Like tomorrow is Thursday, so when we're filming this comes out a couple of weeks later. The only thing out tomorrow that is worthy of seeing that I don't want to see because America's already had it a week before us and smashed it in bad reviews is some horror about a podcast. That's the only.
Oh yeah. The one undertone
or something like that.
In fact, we can't. That's a big point, right? And the fact that I can't even remember what the fuck it's called. Remember back in the day, and I 100% agree with Rob that we should do this. Have a retro cinema, in each, in Perth, in here, everywhere, where you can watch these different, like, you remember when Tony Scott, for instance, R.I.P. Tony, but remember when a film would come out like a Top Gun, like a True Romance, like a Man on Fire, where we'd literally be talking, Tony Scott's new one's coming out. Let's make plans to go out. We'll have a couple of beers or whatever. We'll go to the movie. We'll have some dinner, whatever. And, it'd be a night out. It'd be an experience, and it's like, I miss that, with a director or with new Tarantino, and he's whatever, but he stopped. But I miss that. And like, for instance, like David Fincher, all these films now, they're on the cinema for like 2 minutes and then they go straight to streaming, and it's like, I just miss exactly what Rob said. You should have a cinema where you can play, a Tony Scott film, then a Tarantino film, and then and then
different
themes.
My
Girl,
but
for
for people that want that shit, like, friggin' like, of course, you want to put the titles that people are going to come to, like Bloodsport. Everyone's going to come and see that. That
Yeah.
would be amazing. Kickboxer, I'd love to see that. Even the
Mm.
original friggin' Street Fighter comes out this year. How about the week before Street Fighter comes out, you put Van Damme's Street Fighter at the cinemas? I want to go see that at the cinemas. I want to
Yeah,
go see
yeah.
it at the cinemas.
I
love
saw
that
it at the
shit.
cinemas.
Yeah, you lucky bastard.
I loved it.
Actually,
Yeah.
no, I saw it at the cinemas too. I did see it at
Yeah.
the cinemas. I did see that at the cinemas. Fun as shit. I do remember that. We caught the bus to Fremantle because we lived
Yep.
in Mandurah. So there was no train line back then when I was younger. So we used to have to catch the bus to Fremantle and run amok. But just imagine, right? And it'd have to be like $10. Like you can't charge more than that. You can't.
No.
You can't charge more than that.
You can stream them at home. So people,
Yeah.
that's the point. You do a $10 ticket. You know,
Yeah.
even a $7 ticket. You know,
Yeah.
and to get people back in the cinemas. And if you do that, you get people back in the cinemas. They're going to get excited about new stuff. You know, that is coming
Exactly.
out. You know, and you know, stuff like that. You know, whereas you know. Instead of a Chris Nolan film that like you have to wait a year in advance to, and they're the only ones you get excited about, you know.
Yeah.
And I just think that we absolutely should be doing this. You know, $7 a ticket, $8.50 a ticket, and they have exactly what Rob said. You know, they have them one each week, so you don't one each week, one cinema that just plays them over and over again, different ones. And you can go and have the session time, so you write it down when it's on. Go see the one you want to see, or go see two you want to see. You know,
because most of the cinemas have like eight screens. They're not going to be all full all the time with all the movies that they're rotating. Keep friggin' screen 7 as the retro one, so that's the one that you know everyone's going to go in and run amok and be cheap. Jaws was half full when we went to Jaws because it was only playing that one day. When I went to the 15 years ago to the Star Wars ones, and we saw all three of them not in a row. You had to pay individually. They were over half full. They were packed. Like you know what Star Wars us nerds are like. Friggin' we love that shit. Like we're like, hey, we got the Force. They've got
Pulp Fiction and Heat. When I saw those, right, they were sold out. Right. It literally sold out, right? So, you know, they'd have the old school, you know, stand up out the front of the cinema. You'd walk in, and they were packed. And you know, like I know that they're two of the best, regarded as two of the best films ever made. But like, you know, you do this again, The Shining again, absolutely sold out. But I mean, you know, that's what we're trying to say is that if you do this.
Kids for school holidays. Imagine during school holidays. Okay, we know during school holidays we're not going to get our movies to go see for 2 weeks. Who cares? But the kids are going to get Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland, Dumbo, fucking The Jungle Book, all those freaking original old fucking classics at the cinemas. Parents are going to go, I remember them from when I was a kid. Little Mermaid, friggin' whatever else came out, friggin' all that crap. Oh, let's take our kids to go see what we saw when we were kids. And we don't have to sit there and go.
Rob always talks about Lady and the Tramp and not getting to see it at the cinema. You know, it gives Rob a chance to see it at the cinema. You know, I'm just saying. You know, like you'll finally get to see it. You know, with a crowd at the cinema. You know, and he's always going on about that bit where the dog. You know, and with the spaghetti. You know, I mean, he'll finally get to see it.
One of my favorite scenes. And I'm waiting for this dog movie, and there's freaking Adzi at the other cinemas watching Fritz the cat. That'd be a cool one to go see the cinemas as well. But people would go fucking, oh, this is an R-rated friggin' absolute crazy movie. Imagine this. Imagine if they did this 1 week. Imagine if they did this 1 week. This is the 3 titles that they keep rotating. I'd go to all 3 different nights of the week. The Evil Dead, The Fly, and Hellraiser.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, you've redeemed yourself from Lady and the Tramp.
Stop it. Like, come on. Like, freaking...
The Fly, mate. The Fly is like top 10 on my I want to watch at the cinema list, yeah.
The Fly at the cinemas. Hellraiser. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Yeah. That voice, mate. Oh, God. That film's incredible.
And
so
Evil Dead,
second one.
The tree scene.
Oh, yeah.
Cinemas.
We can't really talk about that, but yeah.
If kids these days haven't seen it, they'll be going to the cinema going, "What's this Evil Dead?" Everyone reckons it's one of the best. They'll be going, "What? What?"
Yeah.
My cinema is doing, and it's shit. I'd love to see They Live as well at the cinemas. Oh my
Oh, yeah.
god!
That soundtrack as well.
Oh, and
the,
Warriors,
in the cinema.
Warriors, Warriors.
Oh. I watched that the other day.
Oh,
That's so good.
Warriors at the cinemas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be insane at the cinemas. So there's so many. My cinema is doing in a couple of weeks' time, but it's only for one night and one session. The original 1989 Batman.
Yeah.
With Michael
Yeah.
Keaton. It's the week when I'm at work. Cool. All right, sweet as. I can't go see it. I'm pissed. Like, more of it, and don't just have it on the one session.
No.
I have discussed with
Have it
my
going.
local cinemas about it, and they said they want to try this more. That's why they've been bringing more. That's why they did 7, like I said. They actually did, my cinemas did, I would never have gone to it. They did every Twilight movie in a row, back to back,
No.
and he said it was sold out, packed.
So it was. There's so many fans for that shit,
Packed.
but
He said
yeah,
it was
I mean,
packed. And
yeah.
I said, doesn't that tell you
Bella.
something? Yeah. That was
Yeah,
around
yeah.
October last year. And I said, doesn't that tell you something? And I said, do it with the Freddies. Do it with the Friday the 13th. And he said, we're trying to freaking get blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, do it, man. I said, fuck, you'll be packed. It was half packed for Jaws. So this is just the idea I had today anyway. This is why I wanted to bring it up.
I love
don't know
it.
what everyone else that's watching, what do you think? Tell me what you would love to see on the big screen. But They Live and Warriors and Predator. Oh,
Predator.
man.
I mean,
Dude,
yeah.
like,
Again,
damn.
you keep naming them, and they're my top 10 of wanting
Yeah.
to see these at the movies is just going through the roof. It's turned into a top
Yeah.
150. Yeah.
Like I said, they're playing The Lost Boys in a couple of weeks as well.
Yeah.
At the cinemas, but it's only for
Yeah.
one night, one session.
I still believe. Imagine that scene.
Like, there's so many freaking good ones that you could just chuck up. Like, nothing crud, but some decent horrors, decent actions. If they did a Terminator 1 and Terminator 2, wow, I would have loved to have seen Terminator 2 at the cinemas. That would have looked amazing. Like, I was way too young.
I drive out of my way to go see those two.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like an hour out of my way to go see them at the cinema.
Especially Terminator 2. Seen it a million times, but wow, I'd love to see that on the big screen. What
100.
an experience all those people got back then. Wow.
Yeah.
It's just,
they're
lucky.
For me, it was so awesome because we had both of those. I saw them in a hotel room. I don't know if I've told this. The original in a hotel room with my cousins when I was like, I don't know, 7. And then my parents let me hire it out after like nagging them, the second one. So, I mean, that was a huge movie moment for me. So, I mean, the kids coming up today, they could have these movie moments at the cinema.
Yeah.
The VHS system has gone, like it's literally just Netflix and, looking through everything, or other ways that involve computers and shit, and it's like you've missed that. Let's grab, oh God, I don't know why. No, I'm not grabbing that one. But I mean, you look at, you look at grab Showgirls.
Yep. I don't need to clean that cinema up.
You wouldn't want to be the cleaning crew, but you used to be able to hold these at the video shop and go and have a read, and just go. This definitely looks like my cup of tea, But I mean, like,
and now you got to take it to the counter.
And
you always put it in the middle. You always put it in the middle. You got to put it in the middle. You always put it in the middle. Like,
we had little ways.
They look at you. I don't know how that got in there. I don't know how that got in there. Whoopsie.
Should I take it back, or can you bring it up? And I don't know what we do here.
Oh,
But,
one more I just thought of for the cinemas.
Yeah.
RoboCop.
Holy shit! And Total Recall double bill.
Oh, stop it. Oh, damn, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Holy shit. There be
That bit
some...
with the eyes popping out at the end on Mars. Oh, Jesus.
Even the Conan movies, man, I'd friggin' watch.
Oh.
Like,
Be wicked. The swordplay,
there's
the
just
freaking.
so many that you could just keep going. We could keep going on forever, and I could say Point Break and fucking Rambo, all the First Blood and freaking Rambo 2 and 3. I freaking love all that. I love all that type of shit. I'd love to go to the fucking cinemas and watch. So
Yeah.
Rambo.
I think it's a great idea.
Rambo 3 would be insane at the cinemas. All that friggin' the helicopter scene and the friggin' and part 2, the Vietnam shit. That would be some friggin' mad stuff, man. Even Rocky #1.
Yeah. And number 4, mate. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, stop. Yeah. Stop. I love it all. Anyway, you tell us in the comments what you want to see. Hopefully some cinemas start bringing back more. At least mine's got a few on, but they still charge full price. Not cheap to see, unfortunately. But we went and spent money and saw Jaws because we wanted to see it. And they cleaned up like they said they would. They cleaned up for Twilight. I didn't go to that. Adzi was there and didn't go to that one. But,
no, I was next door at Showgirls and they definitely cleaned up for that one. But they cleaned up before the film was even over.
But it does show you, and for an example, people do rock up for it. So I'm spewing I'm working for Batman 89 and the original Lost Boys, but it is what it is. Hopefully they play some more down the line, and as you missed out on 7 when that played. That was in the one of the days when you were working. But it is what it is, man. Shit, if they ever play some of those ones that we mentioned, especially Warriors, I think that's at the top. I think that's at the top of my list for the friggin' cinemas. Actually, that would just be,
Warriors come out to play.
Even if Saving Private Ryan, I saw it at the cinemas. I'll see it again.
Oh, sorry, yeah, that was amazing. Yeah,
I'll see it again.
I'll go again.
I'll go again. As long as they don't put on friggin' Halle Berry's Catwoman, we're all good. All right. Tell us what you think down below. What would you watch if you think it's a good idea? I think it's a great idea. But this is what we do. We talk shit about movies, and that's what we're talking about today. So like, subscribe. Adzi's details are in the blah, blah down the bottom. Pete will be back soon, hopefully. And say hi to your mum for us.
Talking shit about movies, every line hits strong. Living in the groovy, talking shit about